Stanley Price. It would have to be 60. So it was 63 when they shut it down. I went like 2 years before they shut, because it was mind-blowing. Y'all can't, we won't be here next year, and all that. We're going. I was a little kid going, where we going? I was going back like right in the 3rd grade. Well, because when we went to regular schools, that's where I went, to Chuckey Elementary, and I was in the 3rd grade. So I had to be in the 2nd when I went to Chuckey. Well, it was like our parents, when we got on that bus and went to school, they was our parents, and they was, they was parents. That Miss Brown was my mother. Miss Sylvers was my mother when I had to deal with Miss Sylvers. And that our parents give them the rights to take care of us till we got back home. And that's the way they treated it. They didn't beat us or do nothing like that. They were just very strict. Can I tell you a story? Okay.
Yeah.
Brown was like 1st through 6th. Miss Sylvers was 7 through 9. And the only thing separated us was the cafeteria. You would have you have junior, the grade school, and then junior high together. And it was kind of rough because of the older kids, they're away from home. They want to show that they were big shots and stuff. Fire them back up, though. And if Miss Brown or one of them catch them doing it, they had a rough time. The parents give you the right to spank you, and it was pretty rough. Then, we would go. Once a year, we'd have plays. Yeah, Miss Brown was playing the piano, and I had to play hot cross buns. I don't even know what. I was with a guy that was, me and him was doing the hot cross bun. You see how heavy my voice is? His voice was like that in the 2nd grade or 3rd grade. Hot cross buns, 1 potato, 2 potato, hot cross bun. And I was up there. Everybody going, was you saying anything? And I didn't know that. Dinky, you should have let me say something. His voice was so heavy. And it was stuff like that. Miss Brown was playing the piano. She really took care of us. And she liked to eat. And we was farm boys, so we would bring her anything she wanted. We would catch fish, bring them to her. A story I'm going to tell. Like crawfish, little fish. We'd go down to the creek and catch them. And we had an aquarium. We had an aquarium she wanted us to put everything in. Because did them limestone boys bring me anything? We'd have a jar, or my mom and them would send it to her. Okay, we'd go to playground. The little kids go out. We'll come back the next day or something. We come back and say, I thought we had crawfish in there. I think she was eating the crawfish. I don't think they was dying. And they would be missing the next day. I guess we're going to have to get her some more. She was very sweet to us, but she would straighten us out. And Miss Sylvers, she had the upper class, and she had to be very strict. Right. My 3rd, in between Davy Crockett. The Washington Greene County line was the line, and we was on Price Road. That was our farm, and they named the road up through there after us. We had 75-acre farm. We, as we was little kids like that, they taught us how to milk and everything. So we had a special cow. We had to milk every day, everything sometimes before we went to school. And people didn't believe that we would get hay and have to double team it to get it on the wagon. Huge gardens. They had cantaloupe, watermelon, sweet potatoes, everything. Cabbage, green beans. They had several gardens. And corn, they kept corn because we had hogs, cattle. In our house, we had 6 of us. My mom and my aunt was living together in the family home. She had 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And my mom had me and my brother Gene. He passed away, so he would have been up here too. He was a couple of grades ahead of me. Yeah, I got They on the wall in there. All of the older ones went to come here. James would drop us off, and then they bring them here. It's a, it's where we had to walk like from here on the country road down to the main road to get to the bus. They was taking care of us, you see. The older ones would take care of us. If we tell one of them was picking on us in school, they'd bust their head when they got on the bus. It was wild. Because, it was a lot of that going on. Because, like I said, the only thing separated us was the kitchen, you know. And I talked to him, I got the older one, Daniel, he went here, and William, he played basketball and football here, and they was the older, and they really took care of us. They was my cousin, Rollins. But James lived up the road from us near Chuckey. And then he would drive down and pick us up on our end, and he'd go through the town of Limestone and pick up all of the downtown Limestone. And then he'd go out in the outskirts on the old Jonesboro Highway. He left me then. It was the old Jonesboro Highway. And there was a little community down there with a few blacks in it, the stories. And that's why I was telling you about Clinton. He was Clinton, Junebug, and it's a bunch of them too. Me and Clinton was the same age, so he's still living in Greenwood. I don't know if he's doing well. I was a little kid. Miss Brown, every morning we did the Lord's Prayer. She taught us the Lord's Prayer, and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America every morning. And then there used to be a circle, island like flagpole, and have like a ceremony with the flag. The older ones would teach us how to fold the flag. Afternoon, before we get back on the bus, they let us out for playground, and then they do the flag ceremony, because they knew how to do it, and they would get us little kids and show us how to do it. And that was more like that too, because Miss Sylvers was training them to train us, to show us on the playgrounds they would take care of. But, you had your mean ones. And then Miss Sylvers and them would straighten them out, because the bathrooms were straight across from Miss Brown. Because it used to be like you can go to the back of the gym, then they had like a baseball field. Because that's where we used to hide in the ditch line, and then Miss Sylvers catch us and whip us. We had to do what the older guys tell us to do, hideout in that ditch. It used to be a ditch line, and that was our hideout. But when she rang that bell and we didn't hear it, we get a spanking. Because down at the bottom of the hill used to be a store, I think. The kids from Jonesboro, they would go down there and get us stuff. We wasn't allowed. That was like a dead zone. Just played kickball, because that was back days. They don't do kickball no more, and it wasn't too much for us to do down there. Not less than they played like a little basketball. You see, they get in the gym, and then they want to throw the basketballs at us a little younger. They wouldn't let them have stuff like that. It was pretty rough. I'll tell you, them basketballs hurt. Get on the bus, and when my cousin say, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" He hit me with a basketball, and you hear it pop. And the Johnsons, them was my buddy, Rusty Johnson, passed away. Sandy Johnson's brother, because he was a very good guy that took care of us young ones when those bullies was doing that. See, he was one of the guys, 9th grader, I think, because he had to go to, he would have been in the 8th grade, because he played football for Crockett. Beans and cornbread, and like a salad. Miss Gertrude. Yeah, see her sons, Juan and George, they was there too. We would have, like for Christmas, we drew names. My mom would always put presents with mine, so one of the kids could have a gift. Because the kid, I just thought about that. See, like the kid was like the story guy. He had my name. He couldn't buy me a present. My mom and everybody would put extra presents in our for Miss Brown to make sure, and I don't have a clue. And I'm currently the president of school. They like little cars and trucks and stuff like that. Hot wheels.
Hot wheels? Hot wheels.
When I went to Chuckey, with a couple of years at Chuckey, basketball, because I was country boy, healthy. And then my mom moved us up here, because it was pretty bad. You know, because ain't nobody ever seen each other. We was farm boys, and they were farm people. And then when we got together, you know, it's pretty rough. Because we wasn't going to Crockett. The majority was going. We were just like 8 of us down there. It probably had to have an escort. My mom and them had to sit on the bus. You know, so it was pretty rough. And we got over it. Only time we ran into one of them, we was going to the slaughterhouse with the cows or to the mill to get the grain and stuff ground up with our uncles and stuff. We didn't see nobody but work. We got to go to Greenville very seldom. First, see, they was just placing us because they, by the age groups. And I think when I got up here, it was 5th grade. And I went they probably sent me to Keystone or like for special classes and stuff like that because they didn't know what I was capable of doing. And then I went to North Side. And then I went to South Junior High. And then I was a beast in basketball and football because I learned how to, you know, boys club and stuff here in Johnson City taught us how to play ball. She had to concentrate like they have a spelling bee over here. We weren't allowed to talk over here. She had her hands full, come to think. That's why I said she had to be something else to get people through that. See, down there, a big limestone creek, there was a farm ran through it. And we would go down there and we'd catch some stuff like that. You know, I didn't ever think you could eat these in this area. Because we would come back the next day with some more in there and the ones would be gone. And she would always say, I wish those farm boys would bring me some more of those crawdads. And that's what we would get. You know, little kids, we'd go down there and get our bucket full. And matter of fact, when we come back from recess sometimes, it'll be gone. I remember something, those older kids going, where was y'all, those crawdads, or whatever they call them, and those in that shell. Sometimes we get them pretty big. Then her and Miss Gertrude had something going.
Yeah.
And I love to hear her on that piano. Doom, 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 doom. Go to the church in the wild, to the church in the day. She taught us that. Yeah, that was her favorite song. It was more like singing. The older ones would be singing. Then they have a pause for us to say something like, liberty you earn. Or, like I said, hot cross bun. I did one time. See, we had like a recess before the bus come. Dummy me, we was playing hide and go see. And the bus left us because James, you know, then when he got down at Miss Sylvers, she turn around and come back and get us. And that's the only time I really got in trouble. And, you know, James got a little upset with us. Then he told my mom, and then Miss Sylvers straightened us out the next day. I think we got a spanking. It was always somebody getting left. So they would scatter out and play. Where Miss Brown's, it used to be like a wooded area there. And we go in there and play hide and go seek. And we can't hear the bus. When we had recess, that's what we were recessing. You know, we wanted to play. I know we had the older students would take us to the health department to get our shots and stuff. We walked downtown. Right there across from the courthouse down through there somewhere, there used to be a clinic, wasn't it, in Jonesboro? See, we were just right down the hill, you know. To me, that was a long walk, because once a year they'd take us down there to get our physical. 9th graders or something, one of the ladies or something, girl. I say they'd do like about the 2nd or 3rd grader, and then the next day they do another one. Now, I've been married twice. See, my son, he retired out of the Air Force a couple of years ago, and I'm a single parent now. Things are weird. And And I got another son, he's at medical center. He's the desk clerk in surgery. And my daughter, she lives in North Carolina. I got about 6 to 8 grandkids. I went to TVA. We built Phillips Bend, and they shut us down in 2 years. And then I went to Rainbow Bakery. They shut it down a couple of years. Then I went to Johnson City Medical Center, and I retired at 28 years.
Wow.
I mean 38 years. I was a surgical tech. Did all the surgical tools, sterilization. We did all that. And the open heart's got a lot of tools in it too. It's about 500 pieces then, but I don't know, they probably shrunk down now. Sometimes I had to, see, we scrub out, just like they are in surgery. We had to wear everything. If they needed something turned quick, I would have to run it back up there, make sure, sterilized and everything. Some of those tools had never been touched by a human hand. I've seen it all, man. I did it for 20 years. I skipped down out there and just started just cleaning everything. It meant great because it was there for her. I don't know what the school that was in Greenville. We never did congregate with them. My mom kept us in Limestone to go to Langston. She graduated out of Langston. My mom, and the Booger T at the time, I thought it was great to help everybody in the area. We didn't have nothing else. You see what I'm saying? That's all we knew. And it is what it was. That's great that they caught it in time. Because you see what they done to this building. They destroyed it when they took all that stuff away. They could have had a coliseum and everything. And they could have still had a recreation area. And I'm glad that they took care of that. Mr. McKinney was one of my junior high teachers. And I'm glad that he named it after Mr. Price.